Welcome back to the Pearl of Africa. Last time I took you through the flora of Uganda. Today is a quiet afternoon and it's a great day to be alive. So climate-wise, Uganda is a very beautiful place, and it's one of those places you can never fail to enjoy the weather. Right now it's approaching midday, but you can see that it's calm, cool, and the sun has just come up because we had some rain happening earlier on in the day. So I thought, let me take this opportunity now that it has just rained to talk about the climate of Uganda. Now you might have noticed that Uganda is within what you'd call the equatorial region. So how are you? Eh? I am recording myself talking. How are you?
Oh, you have a channel where you just come and ride, do exercise.
Yeah, so I want to be riding as I talk to people. Up to where?
Home.
Those are school requirements.
We have another shop.
Oh, how is it faring?
It's about to reopen.
Oh.
It's at school, we got a shop there.
Oh, okay. It's
So
for during
kids are
school
home.
time. Eh?
Yeah, just restocking stuff.
Oh. Oh, so byakulya kwegamba.
Yes, things. This is just tea and then Reiko.
Kids also buy tea. Do they have a boarding section?
Yes, they have.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And
How big
also
is the boarding
people,
section?
People around. They don't want to have
That place doesn't have people now.
It has people, teachers, staff.
Yes, but those are how many families?
Tenants also, as we are there.
Maybe like 10 families.
Anyway, money comes.
Anyway, it's still something.
Yeah.
Because now if a family can live with at least a profit of 1K a day, that's the 10K for the 10 families. Can that happen?
There's more money. That's why we are there.
That era you count the list. So when you get more, you don't.
During school days, that place is very busy. Those guys have money. I didn't know that.
You're going up the hill.
Yeah.
Let's ride as I also go in that direction.
You're going up.
Yeah, I think I can manage.
Yeah.
Eh?
Tichina.
Tichina. Can sit TV. Let me raise the seat. Eh? You wait and see. I can even do it in the second gear. But because we are going to be talking, let's go first. Eh? Eh? You guys are starting when? When are you guys starting school?
Because people are there just doing registration.
Oh.
Anytime I want.
There's no deadline.
There's deadline.
I was told this month is the deadline, like 28th.
20 what?
8th. Eh. At least tomorrow they will be there. Yeah, so tomorrow or Monday. You know, deadlines are funny. You can think it's up to when the term is well open. Waiting for them to shock you.
Kids in second term.
And maybe since it's a new curriculum, they can maybe try that. Like how I remember when we were applying for government scholarship on university.
Registration, say when we are even still at school.
Eh.
Bring your whatever birth certificates.
But now we are even not asking for registration fee, are they?
If you come very early, they don't ask you for registration fee.
Because now us, they were charging kids 300K. No, I actually the other one went with a bicycle. Then I had to go and look for it in town. They wanted to sell me the whole stand at 30. I was like, what? Back at 15.
You bought only the stand?
Only this clamp is what I wanted.
That's too much.
I know. The idea came from there.
How are you feeling?
I'm going to finish the hill. I've done it before, at least gear one. Gear one, I know I can. Most of that I've not yet ridden. And it's the first ride I'm making. There's a time I went this hill twice on the first gear. Lactic acid. And have you heard of the idea of oxygen debt? Eh? Do you know oxygen debt?
Yeah.
What is it?
That's anaerobic. Yeah? Respiration?
Explain well, I'm the examiner.
Anaerobic what? Respiration, yeah.
No?
Oh yeah, the body burns up all the whatever to make what? To make energy. All the oxygen.
The answer is not clear. Yeah. The idea is there, but the answer is not clear.
So what's your question?
So, if your blood cannot supply oxygen enough to burn to burn the glucose, to release energy, it goes into anaerobic respiration without breaking down glucose, without oxygen. But in the process, lactic acid is formed. Now, after you've done exercising, the amount of oxygen that you need to break down the lactic acid that has accumulated, that's the oxygen debt. In other words, the oxygen you needed to have burnt glucose if it was available. Yeah. Aya bye kati ekyo kitegedde. Kale see. All right, so on my ride, I found a friend from the neighborhood who is going to sit for their what would be equivalent to British UCE and British what do you call it? British Certificate of Education, something like that. Actually, GCE, yes. GCE? Yeah, GCE, I think. Great Britain Certificate of Education, I think. But as I was telling you, I wanted us to discuss the climate of Uganda. But then I couldn't stop the video from flowing as I had actually wished it to do. So, it's very common to meet one or two familiar faces, and that makes it a great day to be alive. Now, talking of Uganda, Uganda actually is a country that is largely tropical and sort of has two rainy seasons per year. So you'll have the first season between March and May. Meanwhile, we are in May, so it explains why we had rain earlier on today. And then the other second season would be September to December. But then again, because I'm in Kampala, and Kampala is literally neighboring Lake Victoria, Mavida Forest, basically it's well vegetated, so occasionally we will have convectional rainfall, seeing that we're almost around the equator. We're not very dependent on the seasonal winds. So that's why you'll find Kampala, even in the driest, will be green, unlike places in the north, which is fully or mostly savanna grasslands or savanna forests. Oh, talking of the savanna forest, sort of enables us to have a lot of wildlife. In fact, you'll find the big five in Uganda. For instance, if you went to Kidepo National Park, Queen Elizabeth, we also have mountain gorillas in the impenetrable forest. Is also another place to behold when in Uganda. It's a great place to live. Right now I'm cycling through Makerere University, and people are finalizing exams this week, and today's Friday the 24th May 2024. It's a bicycle ride just to take you around. Now, as a true testimony of Uganda's tropical climate, you'll find all manner of trees thriving here. That's eucalyptus right to our right, some palm to our left, and then it's generally a good place to live or build your country home because of the vast, lush green that keeps you settled. So let's go down this slope. I don't trust my brakes, but let me see if I can manage a speed cruise. The only thing is I have to be very confident of what's happening, and that's a great day. So it's an interesting ride. Because I'm inside Makerere University, you will see a number of people moving, and those are actually students from exams or actually from discussions for the exams. So don't mind that a lot of people are actually moving here. I think let me take a small detour just to show you more of how student life is like here. Uganda is generally a beautiful country. Right now it's cloudy, despite it almost being midday, and that makes it a great place to spend your vacations. Now, people who like to tour when they are a bit free and have made some money, it's a great place to be, ideally. I know. I think, let me just let you watch along as I say. But the institution in which I'm riding is actually very old. That's over 100 years as of 2022. We are in 2024. Right. It's interesting that at the beginning of the video there's a lot to say while introducing the video, then midway, because you're focused between navigating around the roads, it's almost difficult to figure out what words to say. But I think maybe the other thing you want to know is that the rest of Uganda lies within a relatively humid equatorial climate zone, and topography wise, prevailing winds and lakes cause slight differences in rainfall patterns across the country, where you'll find some places very wet and others very dry. So it's not very rare to find something like that happening. So now, okay. Now you'll notice that Uganda is located rather in the tropics, and across the equator you'll see that the equator passes through it, and it tends to result in the country's weather and seasons being determined to a large scale by the Indian monsoon winds. That's if I'm to exempt Kampala from that. So we have the Indian monsoon and some Congo air masses, Indian Ocean dipole, and then of course the intertropical season system. That kind of brings memory of things we studied way back in primary school. We tend to experience the El Nino Southern Oscillation phenomena, and you know that is when you have seasons of great downpours leading into even flooding. But overall, Uganda experiences moderate temperatures throughout the year, around 22.8 degrees Celsius monthly. So ranges may most likely be between 21 to 24 degrees, and 24 being in Feb. And around these times when the average rainfall precipitation we get is about 1,190 millimeters. Okay, that came out too specific. All right, for this part, let's just ride and take you through this pre-afternoon. It's 11:40, and okay, the bicycle that I have has poor functioning brakes, so I have very little faith at it. I would have wanted to give you a speed cruise, but then because I don't trust my brakes, I'm forced to go rather slow. Okay. Now, I believe I trust this part more, so I can actually do a speed race. Fingers crossed. No one interferes in my path. And also I want to see if the footage coming from the position of today's camera is the best. Alright, I think students returning from papers, which is a great thing. But then after the exams we'll be going into recess camp, which is a great thing to behold. I know. But then again, it's hard to imagine. It's very hard to imagine. So now I'm going to avoid the steep slopes as I look at the time that I have remaining. Oh, basically 1 minute remains. That means I have to rush and deliver this bicycle to where it belongs. And where it belongs is where I'm headed. All right. I can't hurry because then it will look funny. Because I want to show you some of the people, let me just take a left and right. Interesting. 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 So I'm going to slow down a little bit. Places are the people too. And the people are what we see. They're the ones that alter the ecosystem, the environment, and the building. Yeah, so for that matter, I may reduce speed to see what's happening here. And I believe I have the camera running, which is taking about 15 times as long to go off as opposed to before. I thought I knew the person approaching on a motorbike, but I guess I'm wrong. So show you some more people. I think these have a paper and they're heading for it. If I'm riding on the wrong side, then it's very important that I move as slow as possible. Okay. So it takes about 15 times as much to record in 1080p as opposed to 4K, because 4K has 4 times the content 1080p would, or the information. Therefore the phone tends to heat up more than one would like it to. So if you want to record longer footage, then you have to drop it to 1080p. That is what otherwise people would call full HD. And full HD simply helps prolong the recording time of smartphones, because now for my son, it's very poor at managing heat. Immediately the camera temperature rises, then you find it saying that camera is going to be temporarily shut down so as to allow it to cool to be able to record more. Anyway, so let me return to the place where I picked the bike. I think I'll go a little past it and then disconnect my equipment and be able to officially hand over the bike. So I suppose you'll only see that place. Yeah. All right. So now, no problem. Takes about 15. And I think I'm going up to the other side to just sort of disconnect my equipment. And I think someone broke their shoes. So this is where we began from, and that's where I return you. See you in the next video. Ciao.